The old Hutongs are very special, and the word Hutong, which is alleyway, is actually a Mongolian word, and it means water well.
Okay.
Because once upon a time, these were laid out under the Mongolian Emperor Kublai Khan, and each street had its own well. That's why they call it Hutongs. This is a traditional courtyard entrance. This four posts here would symbolize kind of very high-ranking official.
Okay.
And of course, the carvings there are four different flowers representing the four seasons, a cycle in life. And these stone lions here would indicate, because the different types of lions would indicate what kind of person would live in the courtyard. This would indicate it would have been a general or probably a military figure, because the lions are very big, very big. This street here dates back to the time of the Mongol Emperor Kublai Khan.
Yeah.
And so during the Ming Dynasty, these would have all been courtyard houses, probably of scholars or nobility, people like that.
Yeah.
When the Manchurians came, they kicked out the Ming and the Han Chinese, and the Manchurians took it over. It was all Manchurian nobility. That lasted to the Republican period, 1911 to 1940, in which the Manchurians had no way of making money, so they started to sell their assets one by one, and the decay of these properties began. And of course, in 1949, the communists took over. Great leap forward. They moved people in, kicked landlords out, Cultural Revolution, the Red Guards took over everything. And it wasn't until Deng Xiaoping and Jiang Zemin that they gave it to people like me. And we restored it.
Fantastic. Lucky old you.
Come on in, have a look. Flora, welcome to a courtyard house.
Thank you very much.
These were very Ghostbuster proof. They used to have these high thresholds here because they said ghosts would walk like this and they would prevent the ghosts from walking in. And then they had these spirit walls because ghosts always follow straight lines. So the ghosts would walk into the wall, they couldn't come into the courtyard house. The courtyard house would lead in like this, always a zigzag entrance, never a straight entrance, just like coming to China to do business. Lots of zigzag entrances, you can never have a straight way in the door. The courtyard house reflected a lot of the Confucian philosophy of life. There was a lot of order and balance, and while there were gray walls that kept people on the outside away, once you entered it was very cozy, very close. You know, everything looks inward, and it was a central place for the family to gather, have dumplings in the moonlight evenings and drink tea in the courtyard, raise birds like this over here.
This would have been a main living area in here?
Would have been a main living area, that's right. And then, of course, the master of the house would live in the north, and the sons would live on each side, and then servants would have a sort of southern quarter here.
And this is beautiful. What is this?
That's a moon gate.
Okay.
And of course, a moon gate is a very holistic symbol, okay? And of course, within the moon gate is what they call in Chinese a huaishu, or a scholar tree. And the scholar trees came from Shanxi province because when the Ming built or rebuilt Beijing after the Mongols, they brought all the craftsmen, the woodworkers and the brick workers and the carvers from Shanxi, a place called Huai County, famous for its Huai trees, or scholar trees, and they brought the trees with them and planted. This tree must be over 250, 300 years old, easily. Gives us a shade in the hot summer, and you know, cool breeze in the autumn. The Beijing courtyards have red. Only in Beijing they have that because that's the imperial color. So courtyard houses in other places couldn't have this kind of, you know, deep red. And of course, you can see again there the delicate carvings with symbols of birds, peaches for long life, flowers, bats, things like that. A lot of what people lived, they felt, they thought was expressed in the architecture.
And when you came here, when you first came here, how much needed to be renovated, or was it all in very good nick?
A lot needed to be renovated, but the basic structure was all here. But you know, roofs were leaking and windows were broken, and you know, wood was cracked and falling apart. And we just had to kind of take the puzzle apart and put it back together again. That's what restoration's all about.
You've done such an amazing job. I mean, it's a very special place indeed.
Great. Well, Beijing is a special place, and we want to try and preserve as much of the heritage as we can. And that's what this is all about.